Hey, what's up, YouTube? You're watching Rants! Today, we're going to talk about whether we think Seth Rollins is going to turn face or not. And obviously, of course, it's going to happen at some point. But the question is when. And I think it's actually going to happen by the end of this year. I really, honestly believe that's going to happen. Think about it. Right now, there's a lot of dissension within the authority, and he's burning his bridges left and right. And yeah, like, the relationship is interesting because, on one hand, they still have his corner, they still have his back, but to what degree? I mean, he just fought J&J Security. I can't talk. J&J Security on this past Raw, and Triple H and Stephanie McMahon, they're being sarcastic towards Seth, and Seth is making all these comments, be like, I can do this on my own, I can do this on my own, and, he's dissing the authority, and I don't think the authority will fully turn on Seth in the near future, but I think it's going to happen in the relatively near future, and what I mean by that, I think within, maybe by this fall. What are your thoughts on this?
To me, that seems like a quick hook. Like, the authority just got back, like, earlier this year. So I want to see a longer run. It's fine to have dissension, and most stables throughout, WWE history have had some kind of dissension, but stayed together. And then eventually there was, like, a huger dissension, and then that's what put them over the cliff, so to say. So right now, it's just part of the story. I don't think there's any real potential for anyone to leave the authority or the authority dropping anyone. Rollins is still the champion. He's still their guy. It's just for a story where they're trying to get back at Rollins like, oh, hey, remember those comments you said about, not needing anyone last week? And, well, here you go. You're on your own. So, and plus, if Rollins wins, at Money in the Bank, that just solidifies it, saying, okay, you did what you said you would do, we respect that, and now we're going to back you even more. So for right now, a fall, that's kind of a quick hook, I think, for the storyline. I think
maybe not necessarily fall, but it could be winter even.
Well, I mean, you said fall, so.
Well, I said, initially I said by the end of this year.
Yeah.
But then I said fall. But now I'm saying winter.
Pick one, man. Jeez. That's wrong. So I can argue.
I'm going to say winter.
Okay, so
winter is coming.
Fine. Winter, a little bit more believable, but I'm going to say next year, early next year. If I have to predict a time, I would say around the Rumble. I think Rollins and the Authority split around then, because I think the Authority finds their new face, their new guy, around that time, and then Rollins kind of feuds with them a little bit. So
Seth Rollins is the best heel right now, so I don't see them turning him.
Exactly.
That's a good point, Tim. Good point. But, I mean, back to what you were saying about how you don't think anyone's going to leave the authority. If anyone leaves the authority, I think it's going to be Kane.
Most likely.
In the near future.
I don't think so. They're not doing anything with him, so why bother doing anything with him?
Well, they just put him in the Money in the Bank match.
Yeah,
so.
But, like, that's not, like, for him, but that's more of, like, assurance for the authority. Like, the story is he's there to best fit, to
represent
them and then to have their best interest in mind. So, ideally for the authority, he wins the Money in the Bank and then just holds on to it forever until Rollins loses it, and then he catches in on the new champion and then gets it back. So, like, that's what I'm guessing would be the authority's take, is you hold that briefcase until we need you to cash it in. So that's what I would think would happen with Kane.
Now, what if Rollins turns face, but then either Reigns or Ambrose joins the authority? That could be interesting.
Yeah. I see Reigns more than likely.
Yeah. Reigns seems like he would be a better fit for that because you can spin it a lot like The Rock had when he first joined the corporation. This is essentially corporation version 2. So you could say, we saw a lot of potential with Roman just like Vince saw with The Rock. And then you just mold him into this corporate guy, and he's the corporate champion, blah, blah, blah. Ambrose is very anti-authority.
That's
and
true.
Not just in the sense of storyline in WWE, but like his character just screams rebel. It would make no sense.
So Reigns would be a lot more likely.
Yeah, Reigns is certainly the more likely candidate because there's nothing about him that really screams like rebel, defy authority and stuff, other than the fact that he pairs himself with Dean Ambrose.
Although Reigns is a very likable guy too, though.
Yeah, no, it's not that he's not based on the likability. If anything, that helps turn him heel because he's so liked. Around the time, again, I'll parallel with The Rock back in late 1998, he was actually starting to become very popular, and he was finally getting the crowd behind him. And then in that Survivor Series Deadly Games tournament, it was down to him versus Mankind for the WWE title. And Mankind at the time, he was a face, but not like the super baby face like he was later on. And then Vince comes out, helps The Rock win, screws over Mankind, and this catapults not only Rock as the biggest heel at the time, but it catapults Mankind into being a huge babyface. I mean, mega huge babyface, next to Stone Cold at the time. So I could see the parallel between Roman Reigns and The Rock doing something similar, where at some point Roman Reigns, maybe he has the briefcase, maybe he doesn't, and then he just somehow gets aligned with Triple H, and then Triple H is like, all right, you're with us. Here you go. Here's the title shot. Bam, I'm a champ now. I'm a corporate champ. So
that'd be a really interesting scenario.
Yeah, so
awesome.
Yeah, I'd be all for it because I think a hidden gem in Reigns is that ability to play a super good guy and a super bad guy. He certainly has the look. And I think all you do is tweak the mic work, obviously, towards being a heel, and then
Get
just
a new look.
Yeah, maybe change up his look a little bit. Obviously, change the entrance, and obviously, you got to have him face Dean Ambrose like right off the bat. If he turns heel relatively soon, you have him face Ambrose right off the bat because that's an instant storyline and an instant split in the crowd where all Dean Ambrose fans, and then everyone just going against Roman Reigns.
Pretty much.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
So.
It would generate so much heat.
Yeah.
So Tim, when do you think Rollins, if he were to turn face, when do you think it would happen?
Next year, maybe, most likely, if the time were right. Something would have to happen to somebody, and he would go out for the save. Like, who knows, like, if Dean Ambrose even though he was feuding with him, if Roman were to turn on him, be like, hey, what's going on? You guys were brothers. I'm sorry, I want to help you now. Or something.
That would be something. That'd be a little weird, but I could see something like that where maybe Rollins and the Authority split at some point, and Rollins isn't like complete face because he could still split from the Authority and be a tweener heel or be a tweener, but at some point maybe he's like reluctantly paired with Dean Ambrose or Roman Reigns if he's still a face by then. He's like, well, we have a common enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, or whatever. Whatever that's.
That'd be pretty cool, yeah.
So then you have Rollins teaming up with one of those two guys to go up against the Authority, or maybe all three of them are against the Authority, and then you get a little bit of a Shield reunion.
That'd be awesome. That'd be super awesome.
I'd be all for that.
We'd all be marking out.
Yeah. But yeah, I think next year would be the time because they have something so good with him as a heel. He's perfect in the role. I don't think you want to lose that right now, unless if you have someone else. Hey, phone.
Phone, shut up.
Unless you have someone else lined up that could be a big time heel, and like there's other people on the roster, obviously, but I don't think it's anyone that really works as well as Rollins does as a heel. He's so versatile.
Yeah, Rollins is a great heel. Don't get me wrong, but I could just see it happening in the near future. Again, I don't mean tomorrow. I don't mean next week, but in the relatively near future. So yeah, let us know your thoughts. Do you agree with us? Disagree with us?
When do you think he'll turn internet? When do you?
And who do you think is going to be the new authority guy.
Oh,
Kevin Owens.
oh yeah.
If it's
We
not
didn't-
Reigns.
Yeah, we didn't even
So-
get into that. Since, well, it's more focused towards Rollins.
So, yeah. Let us know. Let us know your thoughts. Like us on Facebook at.
Ring Rants.
Follow us on Twitter at.
Ring rants. Hey,
And
I like that.
subscribe to our
page.
Regrants
Like our page,
channel.
Rants.
Well, you said subscribe to our. I'm like subscribe to our
Regrants
page?
channel.
Uh-huh.
Well, I subscribe to Page too.
Oh, you would subscribe.
But seriously, thanks for watching, and yeah,
Yep.
Enjoy.
Bye.
see ya.
Love you.
I kind of love you.